Arsenal 2, Sevilla 1, Sevilla 1, Arsenal 2. I'm a happy man. First and foremost, we bounced back from the disappointing performance at the weekend against Chelsea. We obviously bounced back from our last game in the Champions League against Lens, where away from home we dropped 3 points simply. So it's nice to get 3 points. It's nice to get the win, and we just keep it moving. Simple as that. We've got 6 points on the board from 3 games. It's not perfect, but I'll take that and we move forward, really. As I said, it was all about reactions. We could not come here and accept anything less than 3 points. And I'm happy to see we've done that. I have to hail up Tomiyasu. I think arguably he's in with a shout of man of the match. I also think Declan Rice was good today. I actually think the centre-backs were good. But I think in particular, Tomiyasu, Declan Rice, and you can't look past Gabriel Jesus. The assist for Martinelli, lovely finish from Martinelli in his first Champions League game. Should have had a brace because he should have scored before that. And obviously what a finish that was from Gabriel Jesus for the second. And I actually feel it was a bit of poetic justice because it's another game where we've gone long with Raya initially, and then sooner rather than later, Raya's pass or whatever the initial long ball has found Declan Rice. Declan Rice technically has an assist, not to knock Declan Rice, but it's one of them where you get the assist because of the Brazilians, people, the brilliance from Gabriel Jesus, Brazilians. And it was lovely to see Gabriel Jesus get a goal. And Gabriel Jesus is an enigma. He's far too good to not score a handsome return of goals. And it's like the more difficult to finish, the better Jesus is. It's just the tap-ins and everything else, really and truly. Still, I don't want to mention Odegaard. He's still my guy, but Odegaard was anonymous in my opinion. I think Eddie Nketiah's cameo off the bench, he looked lethargic and lazy to the point where I'm wondering, are you match fit? Did you eat some edibles? Are you tired? I don't know what was going on there, if I'm completely honest. Nice to see Kirill get some minutes as well. And a big up Raya because he made a dramatic sort of punch at the end, and there was an effort that was offside, but from Moreno that he punched onto the bar. I think generally Raya did all right today, man. And I needed him to have a big game today because he's been getting a load of flank and things. We needed the 3 points. There was nothing less to be said. And coming to Sevilla, you're coming to a difficult ground, a team with European pedigree, a team littered with experience. As you can see, they line up to the left and right of me, Rakitic, El Nesri or Campos, Sergio Ramos and Navas need no introduction. So it was a difficult game. I think the first half in general was a bit, if you're a neutral, a bit boring. It was a bit scrappy. I think both teams had a lot of possession, but it was a low-key affair. Neither teams really working the keeper, simply put, if I'm completely honest with you. I think it took us about 15 minutes to start kind of playing the way we wanted to play. In the first sort of 10 minutes, Martinelli should have scored his first goal. Tomiyasu had an effort as well. So it was a bit of a scrappy game. And I think that was the theme of the first half. And ultimately, we scored at the right time. I think from Martinelli's goal, whenever that was, I think in the 44th minute, to Jesus' goal in the 50th, or that 10-minute sort of passage was ours, really and truly. We scored a goal. We probably ripped up both managers' team talks at halftime to a point. As I said, lovely bit of play from Gabriel Jesus. In fact, all Gabriels are involved. Big Gabriel's cleared the ball. Jesus has sent people to a shop. And obviously he's played in Martinelli. Martinelli's gone round the keeper, which arguably he should have done first time. He's put us a goal ahead. So yeah, man, at halftime, I thought it was a bit cagey. I think it was a low-key affair. I think it was a bit of a stalemate. I think we was playing well in stages. I want to see a bit more from our right-hand side. I think Benjamin White could do a lot better. Saka's coming back from injury, but could do a lot better. Odegaard, probably one of the most anonymous players on the pitch once again. I love the guy, but I have to be honest, it did feel like a goal was going to come from our left-hand side. And essentially, it's Martinelli in it. It wasn't in the left-hand side when he scored, but it's come from a man on the left-hand side. And obviously the second goal has come from the left-hand side. At half-time, Sevilla had 3 shots. We had 5. We had 2 on target. They had none. We had 47% of the ball to 53. We played 249 passes to 275, and there was 1 corner. And I think we played forward a lot more of the time, if I'm honest. As I said, in the second half, it was lovely to get the goal when we did. It's an age-old saying in football, you're most vulnerable when you just conceded, and it rang true because, again, it's a corner, it's a dead ball scenario, it's a lovely delivery by Rakitic. Maybe Raya could have done better at his near post, potentially Odegaard, Benjamin White and Gabriel. I know it's zonal marking, but definitely could have done a lot better. So yeah, at 2-0, it's a dangerous lead. 2-1, there's a bit of optimism. And obviously for large periods of that second half, I won't say we was facing onslaught upon onslaught, but we had to protect our shape and just defend it as Sevilla were kind of smelling blood and whatnot. And there was some moments towards the end. I'm sure Oscar Campos thinks he could have done better with his effort. So yeah, there was a lot of other talking points, but I'm happy with the game, really. I'm happy, as I said at the start, that we've reacted to losing to Lens and we got 3 points. I'm happy that we've kind of, to a degree, put the Chelsea performance beyond us, and we've got some important games now. Obviously, we beat Sevilla. We got a double header coming up against them. We welcome them to the Emirates. Next week we've got West Ham United in the cup, where you'd imagine there's going to be some changes, because next week you've got them in the cup, and then obviously you've got Newcastle United away from home, and obviously we've got Sheffield United, which on paper we should be wiping the floor with them at the Emirates. But as you know, football games ain't won on paper. And in terms of an insurance policy going into that game, I actually want Arteta to name a strong team. You could make a case of Saka starting from the bench and maybe a Trossard or Nelson getting a look in. You could, depending on Partey's fitness, could Jorginho come in that regard? I believe Tomiyasu needs to retain his spot, in my opinion, at left back. If I'm completely honest, because he looked good in his cameos in the games prior to this, and he gave a great account of himself today. I think Jorginho weren't amazing, but he did all right. And again, I know Jesus came off with a knock. I know, obviously, we hear in Partey's got a muscular injury, so we're going to need to bet on Jorginho quite a lot, really. So it's nice to see he got through 90 minutes. Nice to see Jesus have a hand in 2 of the goals. I think Saka tried and he was a bit isolated, and generally we needed a bit more from the right-hand side, but his performance was wanting more. I think Martinelli did well. I think my 2 centre-backs quietly went about their business. I think White was okay, but his final ball was quite poor throughout the whole game, if I'm honest. So long story short, we did what we needed to do, really. It would have been a dark place from 3 games with only 3 points with 2 defeats. So yeah, and I do think I was expecting more of a nervous game, more of a game where you're on the edge of your seats. Don't get twisted. In the second half, there was elements of that, but not that I don't. I definitely am disappointed with the fact that we conceded from a set piece. Obviously, chance conversion and chance creation has been something that I know we've scored a lot of goals this season, but something that's deserted us. I did want to see a bit more from us in the final third. I didn't want to concede. And obviously, I would have liked to have scored more goals, but it's a professional performance, really. We did what we needed to do. We're not going to be amazing individually and collectively all of the time. And Sevilla, I think they matched us. I think on another day, they maybe deserve a bit more from the game. But we did our job, man. We won our individual battles. I did like the changes Mikel Arteta made when he made them, really, to try and see out the game. Biggest disappointment is that we've conceded, not scored more goals, and to a degree, Saka, but I did want to see a lot more from the captain, number 8, really. But he's been here before. Form is temporary, class is permanent, really. So hopefully he can get back to it. So as I said, it's a nice, good reaction. I do believe Lens and PSV have drawn as well. So there's a bit of fortune around that. The group is still open. We just have to march on now, man. We travel back to England and we focus on the game at the weekend. And we've got 3 big games, really, in a short space of time. And it's a congested fixture calendar list until the end of the year, people. So it is what it is, but I'm a happy man. We got the 3 points. It is what it is. I would have been really disappointed had we not have walked away with 3 points today. So yeah, people, that's my thoughts. Let me know your thoughts on the game. Tell me everything in relation to players' performances, collective performances, and all of those things. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and DG Nation, appreciate you lot. Come on, you Gunners, man. Let me let you lot get out of here.
There's always just that active and defending. I think it's like